Hi, welcome to Here. I'm Kat. This is going to be a short Eucharist. A little bit of discussion, presentation about it, and I'm going to do it for you. So, if you have this, for sure get this. Read it from there. If not, you can Google a short Eucharist, and when you see this, you'll know it's the right one. It should be probably the very first thing. Print it out from the internet, have it in your hand like this, or if you have to, you can use your phone. I'm not the boss of you, but I only think you shouldn't use your phone because our phones are just designed to pull us out of every moment that we're in, and it has that effect on me when I attempt to use it for rituals. There's nothing wrong with reading from wherever you need to read from until you memorize a thing. I just suggest it not being your phone. It's not an official OTO or EGC thing. He just made it because it's good to have a ritual for a daily practice. So I use this for my daily practice. I learned it a long time ago and then stopped doing it because I didn't keep up with having a daily practice. Now I'm having a daily practice again, and life's better for it. This is just a good, easy one to do. So if you're here and watching this, thanks, but it's probably because you already are interested, so I don't probably have to sell you on it. Let's do it. So I'm a big fan of do what you can with what you have. You should ideally have a square altar. Let me back up so you can see my whole thing. A square altar, double cube, if you will. But I do not. So I have this, so this is what I use until I can upgrade to a taller double cube of a thing. So if you don't have that, it's okay. Use what you can have. I think you should designate a thing for it so that it stays sacred, maybe special, but that's just me. This is what I use this for this is this thing's job. We're going to just visualize the square. So your candle is going to face the sun. So if you've seen any other videos of me demonstrating this, you've probably noticed that the altar has been everywhere in this room because the sun moves. So I do also to point that to the sun. But if you decide to do it at the same time every day, you won't have to do that. And that is recommended to do it at a consistent hour. So we light the candle. A little tea light will do. My upgrade preference would be to get a better altar and to have the kind of incense that I could sprinkle into, like resin, that I could sprinkle into on a coal. That's my favorite kind. But this, again, do what you can with what you have. This is what I have. You'll need a cup for the wine and what you cover it with. I have this. I think it's neato because it fits over this tiny glass. If you have a bigger glass or don't have one of these, a cloth to cover the cup. But I'm going to use this because I like it. Your cake of light and water and the book of the law in the center. So you don't start the ritual with the incense lit, you light it in the ritual. Lit candle on the sunward corner next to the candle, closer to the center, is where you will have incense. The corner opposite the candle is a small bowl of water. Clockwise from the candle is a paten with your cakes of light. This little dish is what I have for now, so that's what I use. It's just me by myself, so I have my one. Each person would have one if you did it with multiple people. That's another thing cool about this ritual is that you can do it with lots of people, or more than one person, which makes it especially suitable for household use. So like the family can do it. Mass of the Phoenix, not so much with the family friendliness. This is family friendly. Opposite the paten is a cup full of red wine. Mine obviously is not full of red wine because I'm just me and I don't need that much. And if you have multiple people, you'll be sipping from the same glass. So you want enough for everyone to have a real sip, but just me, that's plenty. The celebrant, that's you, stands at the corner because it's a square, remember, with the water. And the book of the law, as you begin the ritual, is held at the breast. So to start, that's how you set it up. I want people to understand you don't have to get things perfect before you start. So I'm going to have this here because if you're doing it like me, this is fine. Having the paper printed off the internet to read off of is fine. using this book is fine. Memorizing it is ideal, but until you get there, look, the best way to memorize it is going to be to do it. Read from the paper. That's fine. I have long had a problem of I have to get stuff perfect before I do it. This is so you don't do that, because doing it is better than not doing it, right? So let's do it with the book. If you have other people here, they're going to be the respondents. So they'll sit around. You can stand or sit, I think, but it says to sit. So ideally, I guess you would sit and have the person administering it to the other people. Whatever your space allows, honestly. We begin like this. Candle lit, incense not lit, it gets lit in the ritual, cup is covered, cake, water, book in the center. Everyone gathers and we begin. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will. I do confess the lordship of the one, most holy chaos, secret of the sun, and Babylon, dam of humanity, she in whom we all shall rest finally. And that sublime and awful Baphomet, the lion and the serpent, burning yet, and one Thelemic church, within whose shrine our gnosis joins the human and divine, just as the saints of old and present day embody and emit the solar ray, and just as matter becomes life in me, mass is a miracle in that degree, and there is but a single lustral birth, by which high wisdom ratifies our worth, so at the last my life eternally was ever one, is now, and yet shall be. For pure will, unassuaged of purpose, delivered from the lust of result, is every way perfect. I am uplifted in thine heart, and the kisses of the stars rain hard upon thy body. Above, the gemmed azure is the naked splendor of Nuit. She bends in ecstasy to kiss the secret ardors of Hadit. The winged globe, the starry blue, are mine, O Unkofnakansu. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. What is thy will? It is my will to consummate this Eucharist. To what end? That I may fortify my gross and subtle bodies thereby. To what end? That I may accomplish the great work. Love is the law, love under will. In the brown cakes of corn, we shall taste the food of the world and be strong. Thelema. In the ruddy and awful cup of death, we shall drink the blood of the world and be drunken. Agape. I, N, R, I, Yod, Nun, Resh, Yod, Virgo, Isis, Mighty Mother, Scorpio, Apophis, Destroyer, Sol, Osiris, Slain and Risen, Isis, Apophis, Osiris, the sign of Osiris slain, the sign of the morning of Isis, the sign of Apophis and Typhon, the sign of Osiris risen. L, V, X, Lux, the light of the cross. O thou unity of all things, as the sun that rolleth through the 12 mansions of the skies, so art thou, O God, my God, I cannot slay thee, for thou art everywhere. Lo, though I lick up the boundless light, the boundless and the not, there still shall I find thee, thou unity of unities, thou oneness, O thou perfect nothingness of bliss. We adore thee, Evoe, we adore thee, Iao. Lord of creation, bless unto me this bread and blood for the accomplishment of my will, yea, the accomplishment of my will. So mote it be. All must be destroyed, that all may be begotten. Mine is the descending tongue of grace. Mine is the ascending tongue of prayer. I am clothed with the body of flesh. I am one with the eternal and omnipotent God. It is finished. As the law of liberty is mine, may my mind be open into the light. May my heart be a center of love. May my body be a temple of life. So mote it be. Okay, so a couple things. I got some drops of water on the table, the altar, that's okay, I guess. No harm, no foul. So ideally, your incense would stay lit the entire time. That's a good follow along. I did this as if it was just me because it is just me, but hopefully there's some clues in there about if you were doing it for people. Note that the objects on the altar are components of two different hexagrams. The candle flame and the bowl of water are ascending and descending triangles of the hexagram of nature. The consecrated wine and the cakes are the ascending and descending triangles of the hexagram of magic. To the extent that these hexagrams both express a polarity of fire and water, the items at the center of the altar represent two different aspects of air. Incense as aspiration, and the Book of the Law as inspiration. Earth and spirit are both reflected in the person of the celebrant. So that's worth noting. So also, if you notice, the words in the beginning, I do confess the Lordship of the One, is a shortened version of the Gnostic Creed that is said in the Gnostic Mass in Liber 15. So sometimes when I'm by myself, I'll just say the full creed. This is shortened and rhymes, so it's easier to remember if you don't have the other one memorized, and for a group, if everyone's reading off of paper, joining it for the first time, things like that. It makes it shorter, basically. One of the plus sides of this is it's perfect for a daily use because it's not 2 hours long. It's very simple. What is this, like 15 minutes? Yeah, perfect. But if you like, that is a place I would say follow this as written to begin with, memorize it, and then start making changes. That's my rule of thumb. Do things as they're intended and then see what happens when you change it. And keep a magical diary. Write this stuff down so you'll see how it goes. But that's something I do if I have time, which if I'm by myself, most of the time I do. The visualization, when you're standing in the sign of Aramoth, here, for pure will, unassuaged of purpose, delivered from the lesser result, is every way perfect. And you're visualizing the chakras opening as blossoms all the way down. And then I'm uplifted in thine heart, and the kiss of the stars rain hard upon my body. This sign up here, you visualize the serpent twining up. The flowers, the lotus flowers go down, and the serpent goes up, right? Hey, if you have incense like mine, it's okay if it takes a minute to get it lit. The idea is that it stays burning throughout the whole thing. So if it takes a minute to get it sufficiently lit, just take the minute. I prefer to make sure it just keeps burning. So if it goes out, I say relight it. Don't just leave it out because, oh, well, it went out. I say just take a break whenever you need it and okay, relight the incense. I think that's important. That's what I do. Yeah, do it, thou which be the whole law. This is like saying will. It's in the ritual. Everyone does this back and forth together if you have people with you. And if you don't, you should do it by yourself. If you have multiple people, you'll only have to break your cake and then put it back together. And then it shows you how to do the pentagram of active spirit over the cakes. The invoking pentagram of active spirit. Yeah. That's over the cakes. So it goes this way. Start here and go to here. The invoking pentagram of passive spirit is over the cup. And that is that, except the other way. This way. Like that. So starts here, goes that way. Second dot is there. Do, 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 do. Yes. Does that make sense? Hope so. Oh yeah, a ficus. It's this. If you do ASL, it's a T. But that's the ficus. And you point that toward your cake and wine. Okay, these signs. Feet together, left arm at your side, right arm across your body, holding the right hand at your heart with your fingers clenched and thumb extended upward, like so, right there on the chest. Say that with these, make the signs named. I think I demonstrated that pretty well. Next part, hands raised, oh thou unity of all things. Once you have it memorized, looking up to the sky. Beautiful. But if you don't, doing this and reading it, totally fine. The next part, the respondents say, we adore thee, Evoe, we adore thee, Iao. If you don't have respondents, you can skip that part, apparently. I tend to do it anyway, even if no one's here, because I just am on autopilot at that point. So I just always do that part in case they're here and my brain just does it. And if you notice, I sang it because there's a different ritual that we do for the winter solstice ritual, which includes those exact words, and we sing them. It doesn't say to sing it You can if you want to. I do. So when you say, Lord of creation, bless unto us this bread and blood, if it's just you, say me. If it's everybody, say us. Makes sense. A lot of the other things will stay the same. For example, in the brown cakes of corn, we shall taste the food of the world and be strong. You would say we, even if you're alone. Same thing with, in the ruddy and awful cup of death, we shall drink the blood of the world and be drunken. You would say we, even if you're alone, because it is a direct quote. A reference, if you will. You genuflect both times that you uncover the cup. Which means the first time in the ritual that you, well, most people have this. So let me show you with this, because this is going to be what most people are doing. The first time in the ritual that you uncover it and genuflect, when you stand, I had a habit, and most people I've seen learn this have a habit of forgetting to put the thing back on. So the next time in the ritual you're meant to remove it, you go, oh, it's already on. Well, okay. So just remember to put it back. And then when you genuflect, when you remove it. And this time, after Lord of creation, bless unto us, you do leave it off because you're nearing the end of the ritual. I don't have to tell you what's in here because you can read it, but it helps to visualize. So for the cake, you take the 2 pieces of the broken cake, and for everyone else's are not going to be broken, you just take your cake. You trace the downward triangle beginning at the bottom point and moving clockwise, visualizing it in red. So let me get red first. Hello. You will start at the bottom point clockwise in red, like this. Mine is the ascending tongue of grace. Some people do the motion and then eat it. I tend to say it while I'm doing the triangle. Mine is a descending tongue of grace. And that is your first downward triangle with the cake. And then once you are taking your sip of the wine, it is a blue triangle, beginning at the topmost point, moving clockwise, visualizing it in blue. So you begin at the topmost point, visualize it in blue. Mine is the descending tongue. Mine is the ascending tongue of prayer. Mine is the ascending tongue of prayer. Yes, see? And if you notice, ta-da, now you've made the hexagram, which is also what we talked about represented on the altar in its way. And there it is. You have traced it, visualizing it as so. Boop. Yeah, I think everything else is pretty self-explanatory. Stand in the sign of Osiris risen. I am clothed with the body of flesh. I am one with the eternal and omnipotent God, which is also at the end of Liber 15, the Gnostic Mass, you would say, there is no part of me that is not of the gods. That's the same point in the Eucharist. So everyone will take their turn doing it. So don't get uncomfortable. It takes a minute to chew the cake and swallow it. Just relax. Everybody gets a second to do it. But if you have a big group of people, I have seen people, I didn't do it this way, but I was attending when someone else did it this way, I think, which everyone will take a cake and we'll all do that part together. Mine is the descending tongue of grace, and then everyone's chewing the cake at the same time. And then we'll do the wine. Mine is a descending tongue. Or mine, I keep saying backwards. Mine is the ascending tongue of prayer. Sip. And then say, I'm clothed with the body of flesh. I'm one with the eternal and omnipotent God. And then the next person will take there. And honestly, I visualized passing it around just now, but ideally you would come up, take your cake, take your wine, say the ending line, and then stay in this position, rotate around, and everyone takes their turn until the celebrant ends up back here. So you can either go in a circle around and like rotate the whole circle. Everyone takes their turn standing right here, or you can each take a turn getting up from your seat to come do it. It's whatever your group wants to do. Or actually it's whatever you want to do because you're the celebrant, so you're in charge. That's how that works. That way when the celebrant, that's you, comes back, you finish anything that's left in the cup. Which if it's just you by yourself, just go ahead and finish what's in the cup. That's what I do. You don't need to like take a sip, do that part, and then finish it to say it is finished. If it's just me by myself, go ahead and take all of the wine. And then when you're at the end, you can just say it is finished. Ta-da! If you have trouble getting the particulate out because it isn't quite just bloop, just scoop it out with your finger. You saw me do that. Not a big deal. The end. This is what I was meant to say earlier. Hands raised, palms forward, and then clasps hands together overhead, fingers interlaced. So if you noticed, I did As the law of liberty is ours, may my mind be open to the light. May our hearts be centers of love. May our bodies be temples of light. Mind, heart, body. It doesn't say that, but I think that makes sense. So adjust if you like. But yeah, so I hope that helps. Don't be nervous. This is a very beginner-friendly ritual. Memorize it. Do it every day. You'll feel awesome the more you do it. At least that's how I feel the more I've done it. Grounding, focus, helps you remember the point, you know? Thanks for watching. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will. Boop.